I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, guys?
Hi.
Happy Tuesday or Thursday. Oh my gosh. Guys, it's truly a Thursday.
It really is a Thursday, and it is Galentine's Day, so happy Galentine's
Happy Galentine's Day. You know, I didn't realize that was an actual thing.
It's technically not an official holiday.
But I think people are definitely talking about it enough for it to be a semi-permanent holiday.
Yeah, I actually thought it was always the day after Valentine's Day, because
then you get the discounted candy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that would make sense. I'm all about that lifestyle.
Exactly.
But anywho, we're here to talk about episode 4 of The Bold Type. I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Carla Beltran.
Hi, guys.
We are missing, obviously, our lovely Veronica, but she will be back next week. I'm Ali Nasta, and this episode had my emotions all over the place, and there's a lot of relationships looking not so good. Let's just say that.
I think all of them, anybody that has a relationship is bad right now.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks, but
well,
we're here for it.
Yeah, we're here for it to talk about it. So any issues you have with all the relationships going south, let us know in the comments below. We're going to start it off with Jane and Pinstripe. Obviously, they're going through some weird relationship stuff after this whole cheating incident, which was, I would assume, a couple weeks ago because he's back now. I don't know what the actual timeline is. But everything leading up to this point, and obviously we saw Pinstripe say he had something to tell Jane and she didn't let him speak, leads me to believe he's holding on to a secret.
Yes. So last week, if you guys were paying attention while I was speaking, I did say that I think that something additional to that kiss happened. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason why Pinstripe was starting to have problems with Jane, because he actually wasn't being open about what actually happened, and he wasn't being truthful to her. So I think that in this episode he was trying to tell her hey, you know what, something else did happen, I wasn't truthful to you. But he didn't have the chance because she just went for it.
I know, which I'm really confused about because I want to know what he had to say.
Me too, and I'm so annoyed that she didn't give him the chance to speak.
Yeah, because I want to know what he has to say. Obviously, I don't think this is the thing too. It's had he done more than just a kiss or whatever, if he really wanted to be with her or didn't want to be with her and was just screw it, I'm just going to go have on this book tour, he wouldn't cancel it. Yeah. So it's does this have to do with relationship issues, or does this have to do with my prediction a couple weeks ago that his book tour was actually canceled because it's not doing well and he doesn't have you know what I mean?
I think Alex said that he didn't really like the fact that Pinstripe kept canceling on his book parties in order to stay at home. So you could be right. Maybe he's not canceling after all.
Yeah, maybe it's not a cancellation. Maybe it's oh, your book didn't do well, so
And this is his way of kind of making himself feel better. But it's not really working because she's not really helping.
Yeah, it's just a weird dynamic where I can't tell if it's relationship issues or work issues.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think? There's definitely something more, and I feel Ryan, I think, is doing a lot to try to subside his emotions, whatever they may be. He's trying to do those face masks and order food and just constantly keep them busy in order for him to get his mind off of things, and whether that's either work or relationships, I guess we'll have to find out.
I think that he's just trying to please her by doing anything and everything that she wants.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's tricky. I want to know. Jeez.
I know. And now I want to know what he wanted to say.
Yeah.
Which is very upsetting. I actually hope that this is something that they come back to and they actually have him say whatever he was going to say, and it doesn't just get thrown under the bus and we never find out.
Right. I agree, because it would be really annoying if we never found out because then obviously we think that he's holding something back this whole time. Yeah. And something that I kind of found interesting was, so obviously he goes to his ice hockey game, which he comes back and tells, and Sutton was oh, how was it? And then he goes into all these details. Obviously this is me looking way into things, but he didn't look sweaty. And I'm he was it's he was rehearsed to know what he was going to say. And I'm okay, so this brings me to the, because I'm toggling between, is this relationship or is this work? Did he lie about going to this hockey game and really it was just a ploy for something else? You know what I mean?
Like an actual book meeting? Like an actual book thing?
Maybe he's seeing someone else.
I don't think so.
You don't think that? That's me looking too much into it?
I think that's you looking too much into it, only because I feel like
every other day they're home doing things.
Yeah, every other day they're home. And not only that, but I think that, like, I mean, obviously when you're in a relationship, you don't have to be with your partner, like, at all times, you know?
Totally.
And I think that it was, like, him going to the hockey game is more of like, oh, I'm going to go have, like, my bros time.
Yeah.
And have fun with the guys, not, like, be doing masks because, like, right now I'm only doing, like,
that's fair.
Masks and
I think I'm just looking into it because I'm trying to figure out what's the secret that he's holding. Because there's something he's not telling us, and that was me trying to, like, unravel that.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of stuck to the idea that the secret has something to do with what happened in the past, and he didn't tell us the full story.
Interesting. I guess we'll have to
Or
wait.
maybe there's more than one person that he kissed and we didn't get to see it.
Oh, that. And, well, I guess, I mean, that could make sense because when Jane was like, I love you, he just kind of, he didn't say I love you back.
He didn't.
He was
no,
just,
but I think that they've said it before.
Totally, but I'm just saying, like.
He was just kind of shook.
Yeah, he was like, I gotta tell you something, and then he didn't. So, I don't know.
Well,
we'll see what happens there. But someone else's whose relationship is super strong, and I was very confused by this, was Sutton and Richard. Obviously love them.
Yes.
They're doing great. Mm-hmm. They're engaged. But did you not find it entirely strange that she would even think about taking her engagement ring off for a public photo?
Yes. So that actually makes me extremely upset. Only because I've always been Team Sutter.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I say that every single episode.
Yes.
But here I am repeating myself one more time. And that only makes me upset because I feel like it's disrespectful towards her partner. You know, like if you're engaged, and if you're engaged to the right person, I think that you would be so excited that the only thing that you would want to post about is like, oh my gosh, look my ring, like I'm getting married. Yes, it's me. You know, like I said yes to the dress. I said like. Or maybe that's just, like, my idea of, like, what I think it will be when you get married. But the fact that she, like, she's barely getting started on wanting to become a fashion influencer. And the fact that she took off the ring and she wants to already start out with kind of a lie. Yeah, like a lie of, like, oh, I don't live here. This isn't my place because she doesn't live with Jane anymore. Yeah. I'm not even wearing the engagement ring that I was, like, given. And the clothes that she's wearing aren't even hers, you know, like, if you want to actually, like, start doing something and be, like, genuine about it, like, just be truthful.
Yeah.
And, like, instead of borrowing clothes from Scarlet magazine, like, use your own clothing that you have.
Got at the bargain store, like she talks about.
Yeah. And so the fact that she just kind of went ahead and she started doing all these things, it was a kind of good thing to touch just for the whole social media purposes because it is a good reminder always for people that what you see in social media isn't people's lives, you know, like it's maybe less than 5%, if that, because people don't wake up with makeup every day, you know, that's not reality. So, but the thing is that if she's trying to build this brand, but she's building her brand on a lie, like, then that's not really who you are.
Yeah. And I found what was interesting about that, too, is, like, it brought her to have the conversation of, I feel like there's two different Suttons living two different lives.
Yeah.
And that's an issue in itself. Because it's like, I understand you're not used to this lifestyle that Richard leads, but that's something that you've chosen by, like, obviously it's like you're choosing to accept that version of your life now. Like, this is the next chapter. Like, the next chapter is kind of accepting Richard's more lavish of lifestyles. Not that you have to leave the old Sutton behind by any means, but it's like you should realize, like, those two versions of yourself are now molded into one.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's what she's figuring out, and that's what, like, Kat was trying to pull out of her. You think that's kind of, like, where that, like, she was trying to, this episode, figure out who she was, and Kat helped her see that?
Yeah, I think that she's trying to figure out what she is, but also she's trying to she's trying to figure out what she is based on money. You know, because she mentions, like, oh, I only make this much, but I live in an apartment that's this much. So, like, who am I? And it's like, well, your value isn't determined on how much money you make or what your job title is or
who,
like,
you're married to.
Or
like,
who you're married to.
Yeah.
Like, your value as a person and who you are as a human actually has absolutely nothing to do with that. So for her to even, like, be confused about that, I was like, I personally couldn't comprehend, so I was just kind of like confused. And I don't know, like I've always been rooting for her and Richard, and I feel like she should be so happy to throw it out there to the world, like, hey, you know what, like I'm engaged, I work at this magazine, and like just be herself and put that out there to the world, because it kind of takes us on to like the next thing that we're going to talk about, which is Alex and the vulnerability of like having to do certain things. And I was like, I just kind of want her to be a little bit more truthful, just kind of like how we always see her on the show, you know?
And I think maybe that's this like journey of now she's engaged. You know, before it was, I don't want to move in with Richard. I'm a little bit nervous to do that. And so I think we're taking it's like we're taking small steps forward. Yeah. But then obviously this engagement was a huge leap forward. So I think maybe what we're seeing is her just really trying to accept this new lifestyle and realize that like this is her life now. You know, like she's not. So I think that's kind of what we're seeing now that we're breaking it down. But yeah, going on to Alex, like you were saying, is he really had to put himself out there and do this whole podcast thing. And it's crazy to think that like, first of all, there was no rehearsals or anything, and he was just thrown into it. I just found that to be a little funny that like that's the way it happened, which I guess is raw in what, you know, Scarlett is. But I don't know. I just found it very interesting that he was just thrown into the gauntlet like that.
Yeah, and it's super scary, like, honestly. And I think that we can totally relate to this. Yeah. Coming here and talking to you guys weekly about a show that talks on certain topics that sometimes we may not feel comfortable with talking about, or sometimes things that we, like, are barely finding about. And, like, we get to go live and this doesn't get edited, you know? And sometimes I'm like, okay, I want to say this, but maybe I shouldn't because it could come back to me. Yeah. Or like, it's so many things that you think about in the back of your mind. Yeah. And like, if this is not what you want to do, then it could be a little bit like unsettling. Yeah, because it's not like he's like, oh, well, now you have to be on camera and people are watching you and you're answering questions live.
And personal questions.
And personal questions.
Like, I guess he kind of got thrown off, too, because it was, like, he didn't realize it was he was going to, like, talk about himself, and he was just like, I don't know what to do. But it was kind of interesting that, like, he really showed, and obviously at the end was talking about, you know, opening yourself up and being vulnerable is a really hard thing to do, but once you do it, it can be really empowering. Exactly. Which I thought that was really cool.
And, you know what, one thing that Kat did say is, like, just listen to the people and, follow the conversation, which I thought was like really great advice to do. Of just like, you know, keep it low key. But I did want to shout out two people from the chat. Hello, David and R. Connor. They did say some comments about Sutton.
Great.
David said that I was kind of getting low key vibes that Sutton was second guessing the engagement.
Wow.
I hate to have to agree with you, David, but I totally do agree with what you're saying. And Art Connor says, that's because she's still finding herself, so she's going to continue to be unsettled.
Yeah.
Which, that's fair.
Yeah, I agree. I think she's definitely trying to find herself, and I don't think she's really second-guessing the engagement. I think she's really second-guessing, like, the whole, oh my gosh, this is my new lifestyle now. Like, now I am, like, this is not something I could have ever imagined, and now I have to learn how to accept that.
Do you think it's because she doesn't think that she's worthy of everything that she has?
It could be, because it's like, you know, she grew up in a not so privileged household, and I think her kind of stepping into this new, you know, type of, you know, privilege is definitely different. And I think that's why, like, for me, definitely, like, taking the ring off was a huge whoa, like, shocker. And especially, like, if Richard ever found out, I think he would be hurt by it. But I think it is just her trying to figure out how to accept this new lifestyle is really, I think, what it is. And then, like you said, it was her finding herself.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Any other thoughts? Please let us know.
Yes, of course. We love talking to you guys.
We do. You're the best. Moving on to Kat. Kat's always just trying to solve an issue or a problem.
We talked about this last week. Yeah. I mentioned to Veronica, like, off screen, that I was kind of getting a little bit upset at the fact that Kat hasn't really had a specific storyline this season so far. She's only kind of been given specific problems, and she always tends to solve it, which I think is a great thing. I think that if you have a problem and you solve it, that's great, you know? But I am watching a television show, and I do want some spicy drama, and that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, and I think bouncing off of that, I think what we would like to see for Kat, it's like we've seen her go up for so many great things. You know, obviously she got promoted in like her social media role, which was amazing. And then we saw her run for office. And it's like, but then that went away. So it's like, and then obviously with Adina, she was falling in love so hard. And then that went away. So besides these small things, we want something huge for her character. Like, I feel like these are really small wins, which are great, like you were saying, and that's amazing. But what else? What kind of juicier, you know, situations, or not even situations, but like goals can we have for her? Yeah. Because if she's doing all these small goals, I feel like it's gotta lead to something bigger, you know? And like we had said for a little bit, we kind of thought that maybe she would join Patrick and head up this social media thing because it's all digital.
That could totally be the way that we're heading towards.
Yeah, like maybe these little small feats would gain something larger.
Yeah.
But then also what's interesting is then that conversation with Jacqueline obviously, because she's kind of realizing like you need to find that work balance, that work-life balance. I think that was a good conversation, and maybe that's the push that we kind of are needing as an audience, because she has been really focused at work lately. And like now it's like, okay,
like she actually hasn't been having a life lately.
Yeah.
Which is basically what we were saying. So
yeah, that's true. Actually, you're right. We were like trying to figure that out, and we were just given to it, and we didn't even realize.
We were just being very impatient. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So hopefully, I don't know, but it's like also at the same time, it's not like she needs a relationship or anything to kind of drive her story forward. I think it's more like, you know, we see her tackle these big things, but it's like there's got to be like some sort of goal to all these little ones, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel like there should be something more related towards like her work, you know? And yeah, that's one thing that we were talking about is just, I want to see somebody, like a character like Kat. I want to see her thriving in life without a partner, just enjoying life.
Yeah.
But I also don't want her life just to be all work.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a hard balance.
It's such
what
a
she's
hard
trying
balance.
to find.
But yeah, I just hope that they have something bigger for her, because I think she's like a great asset to the show and a great asset to the relationship that they have like as friends. And she's not just really, I feel like they could use her for additional stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Someone that was obviously talking about a work-life balance and how you need to make sure that starts now was Jacqueline, because clearly she is dealing with the fact that she didn't have so much of a work-life balance, and that has now caused some struggles and stripes in their relationship, and their, meaning her and her husband's. So with that being said, it's kind of interesting because it's like, you know, obviously she's kind of had a certain, you know, role in her relationship this whole time, and now that her husband's kind of stepping back, where do you think this puts Jacqueline in a headspace? Do you think this is going to make her work harder? Do you think this is going to make her kind of feel like, oh, wow, like I want to go fight for this?
Well, I think that Jacqueline has been working so hard towards her job and her goal for the past, I think her husband said 10 years. And
or was it 30?
Well,
something crazy.
Something really long.
Yeah.
But the point is that I think that right now she's probably going to try and balance it. And she should be able to balance life a little bit more. Yeah. Now that everything's digital, I feel like it does make her job sort of easier.
Yeah, because everything usually, it should be, it's not like you have to like look at the layouts like in person and the storyboards. Yeah. Like.
And I think that she's going to do everything she can to salvage her marriage because why wouldn't she? She's Wonder Woman. Yeah. She's supposed to, you know? But I was really upset by her husband because her husband is in Ukraine right now, doing some photo shoot job, and he posted a photo with another woman in his social media, which rude.
Yeah, that is rude.
That's so rude.
Well, it's just kind of, it's more so just like alluding to something, like wanting her to be jealous or what. Not that just because it's another woman, but it's like, I don't know. I just feel like there was some sort of maybe reason he posted that, and obviously we don't know his social media like background of what he's posted
like, does
before.
he actually post? Or
yeah, like was this a
often?
random one? Because I feel like the way she was looking at it, Jacqueline was looking at the picture kind of like, well, that's strange. You know, she was definitely taken aback by that photo.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, man. This season, starting us off with all this drama. Relationships are crumbling.
Yes.
We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. In the meantime,
I think so.
I guess we will get into our special segment.
Yes, which I was actually just thinking about that.
So our special segment, if you haven't tuned in before, is we give one girl on the show or one woman on the show the boss lady of the week.
I thought I could change it up this week because this week my boss babe wasn't a lady; it was actually a man.
I love it.
Yeah. So my boss babe of the week was actually Alex.
Love it
because he took the courage and he just went for it to start this live podcast and have people ask him all these questions live and just be vulnerable. And he was like, I don't really want to do this, but you know what? He did it, and he said that he could grow from this, and I think that is a great way to look at it. So he is my boss babe of the week.
Can I ditto that? I'm going to agree. I agree. I think that Alex, it is showing of his character because he's really come out of his shell a lot. Mm-hmm. And I think that this, like, you definitely saw how hesitant he was to step into this new role. But, I mean, he's doing a great job at it. So we're seeing after just 2 episodes, he's bringing in guests. He's getting the good questions.
He's like, here I am, talking about self-love.
Love it. Oh, man. Alrighty, well, that's about it. Let's get into some quick predictions, and then that's our show.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Carla?
Okay.
Carla has the best predictions.
I am so sorry to tell you all, Pinstripe and Jane fans, but I believe that Pinstripe did more than just kiss that female, or he kissed more than one female, and we just didn't see, and we're about to find out, and this is going to be the climax that we've been waiting for this relationship with Jane and Pinstripe, because they need to solve their problems. Mm-hmm. Sutton, don't really know what's going to happen with her. Actually, she's kind of one of those characters where I'm like, is the engagement going to go forward, or what's going to happen? And Richard, we did mention last week that Richard is in San Francisco, she's in New York. They're both following each other's paths. So do they meet up again?
Yeah.
I don't really know, but I think that we are going to start seeing them have problems because I think that his job is going to get better in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And he did have to quit, he had to quit Scarlett. So they might have some...
What if he doesn't come back?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to come back.
What if he doesn't want to come back? And Sutton is, becoming a fashion influencer, or she wants to continue with design.
She can work from anywhere.
She can really work from anywhere, but what if she just want to leave New York?
Yeah. Which also, wait, really quick, bouncing off of that, because Richard did make that comment saying there's really a great work-life balance out here.
He did.
Oh, Carla, see, she's great with the predictions.
And then I have a feeling, and I don't actually know this because I think the actress that plays Adina is actually currently filming something else, but I would really love to have Adina come back.
Yeah.
Or I would like to see Kat with a new partner. You know, I think that there might be maybe 1, 2, 3. Maybe she could get back out and be in the dating world.
Love it.
And Jacqueline, I actually think that Jacqueline is going to address the issue of the photograph with her husband.
I agree.
Because I think that that's a mature thing to do, and just like ask questions. And I think that's the tea for next week.
I love it. Jeez, those were so good. I just have one big one, and I'm going to say I think that Pinstripe is lying about his job. Like, I don't think he's lying about anything else rather than, like, the book tour just, like, failing or something that went down that caused him to lose it all, because I feel like there's just too much fishiness going around with the truth of his job. And maybe it is a relationship thing, but I kind of think it's a job thing.
I like that.
I don't know. That's mine, but let us know yours in the comments below. We really appreciate you guys tuning in every Thursday. It's not Tuesday, every Thursday. You're the best. We appreciate you. And in the meantime, Carla Beltran, where can they find you on social media?
You guys can follow me on Instagram at I am Carla Beltran.
And hey guys, Allie Nasty here. Find me on Instagram at AllieGirl. And of course, follow AfterBuzzTV on all social media platforms. Bye guys.
Ciao.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed here